got you into music?
Music's always been a part of my life. My earliest moments in music is like Sunday mornings, you know, and I think every like person can relate, maybe West Indian sort of background. You know, Sunday was the day that your mom cooked and cleaned, and my mom would always put on 3 records: Wham, Michael Jackson Off the Wall, and Whitney Houston's first album. And she would play those over and over and over again, like every Sunday religiously. So that was like my first, like, you know, my first introductions to music. And then from there, it's just always been a part of my life. Like growing up, I played steel drums, and then I went to a high school for the arts, and you know, everything was music related. So all the projects and the plays that we did and the productions and stuff like that. I took music theory, and so music was always a part of my life growing up, and you know, and then I took a really like I really embraced hip hop and R&B music like early in high school, and then you know, from there I started sneaking into parties with my friends. And from there, I started meeting like DJs and people in the industry and stuff like that. And I met one particular DJ by the name of Captain Kirk at Four Corners. And he was just like, you know, mad music, like why don't you just learn how to DJ? And I was like, oh, okay. So I would like go to his house, and he would like teach me how to mix and teach me how to like blend music. And because I already knew how to like count bars and stuff, which is like super important for DJs, like it just came naturally. So when I got more comfortable, I bought my own set of turntables, and I started practicing at home in my basement. And then I think about a year after that, Kurt called me and he was like, okay, I got a gig and you're gonna open for me. And I was like, what? And then I just started opening for him, and like I got really, really comfortable DJing inside, like at clubs and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of started out.
So you got the turntables. What was the first record you bought? First, I bought a whole bunch.
I was buying records before I had turntables.
Okay.
So I would go down to Play the Record every Tuesday because that's when all the like new vinyl came out, and I would buy doubles because with vinyl, how it worked was like one side was like the actual song and the other side was the instrumental and the acapella, and like you had to have both because you wanted to live remix and stuff like that. So I'm trying to remember. I think, well, the first, I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I used to buy vinyl like religiously every Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah. Like I honestly can't remember my first.
Do you remember what your first set was like? When he asked you to open?
Yeah, I do. My hands were like this the whole time, putting the needle on the record, and it was just like, it was different because it's different DJing in your basement, because you're in your basement and it's like you could pretend that you're at a party. When you're at a party, it's a totally different situation. The music is louder, there are people around you, there are people watching you, so it was a little intimidating. But every Thursday I'd open for Kirk and I got more and more comfortable.
Okay. Too often DJs get stuck behind the DJ booth. Right. And people tend to just associate them with being behind the booth. I really see your image as someone being also behind and in the front, and I think that was you, a part of establishing your brand.
Right.
And how did that really come up? Did you actually say, I want to step out from behind, or was this a natural progression? Or did you really say, you know, I really want to make an effort in developing my brand?
I never thought too much about it.
Right.
I knew that, you know, as a female DJ, you obviously wanted to set yourself apart from everyone else. And I also went to school for marketing. Right. So that kind of helped me too as well, like, I guess, develop my brand, and you know, but I never sat at home and said, okay, I'm gonna, you know, do this for my brand, do that for my brand. I just kind of just did what I liked, and I just did what I thought my listener or the people who listen to music would like. And in my mind, I kind of like made up who I thought my listener would be, and I just kind of catered to them, really.
So it's a natural progression. It
evolved. Yeah,
and I think it really evolved well. Definitely evolved well. Not I think it did. So a little, I guess, preference for vinyl. digital?
Well, it's all digital now, but I mean, yes, I prefer vinyl over CDJs. It's the most natural, true to DJing that you could ever, come across. And although CDJs are easier,
right?
Technically, you can't scratch the same way. So yeah, for sure, I totally prefer vinyl over CDs.
Would you consider yourself a music? Do you adhere to such a thing?
No. I mean, that's such a huge responsibility to put on someone. You just kind of don't do anything that you think your mom would be ashamed of.
They would have to call you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an adult, but I'm still afraid of my mother. So, I'm not going to do anything that's going to, cause her to, speak in high volumes and put on the West Indian accent. And I don't have time. I can't. My heart can't take that. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not a role model. I do what I want, but at the same time, what someone may do, I may not do, but I may think it's cool, but I won't do it. So I kind of know my limits as far as what I would do and what I wouldn't do.
Right. The only reason why I was asking, I know some people do not like attach themselves to that, but I think it's the way that you present yourself and the way you carry yourself. So I didn't know if it was something that you really wanted to embody, or if it was just a natural.
Not really. There are moments where I slip up and I do dumb stuff and I say dumb things and I, eat my words and and it's just a matter of how you handle that after the fact. Yeah.
What has your Caribbean West Indian background?
My mom always used to say to me, if you ever drop down to the street, make sure you have on proper panty, because when they take you back home, or make sure your room is clean, because when they take you back home, I want them to know that you came from a clean house.
My grandma said the exact same thing.
And that stuck with me for the rest of my life for some weird reason.
Thank you, Mama. Yeah, for that.
Yeah.
Thanks. How does the Toronto crowd compare to the city vibe? The New York crowd. I don't want to necessarily compare, but we want to get the essence of DJ Lissa Monet coming out of Toronto.
One thing I can say about Toronto and the people who live in Toronto really appreciate the music. Right. They really know the music. I mean, I haven't partied enough in New York, and I'm sure it's the same in New York, depending on where you go or where you travel. But in Toronto, on any given night, you can go to a house party, or you can go to a hip hop party, or you can go to a soca party, or you can go to a reggae party, or you can go to a reggae infused soca, hip hop, ambient, house rock party, and there will be people there, and they'll be having a good time. I'm sure it's the same in New York, but I feel like in Toronto we have a better appreciation of the music, because a lot of us I guess a lot of us come from West Indian backgrounds, and our parents not just listen to reggae and soca, but they listen to soul, and they listen to Al Green, and they listen to, Stevie Wonder, which I'm sure is the same in the States, but because I don't live there, I can't really speak on that. But I honestly feel like every time I go to a party in Toronto, it's like, for example, like an Amnesia or an old school party, like people really know and appreciate the music. And it's not, it's not about the popular old school songs, but it's about the old school songs on the B-side of this album that you haven't heard in 10 years. So yeah.
Thanks, Toronto.
Yay!
Who do you trust the most?
She chuckles. Who do I trust the most?
Would it be easier if I divided it, let's say, business side and then family side?
Yeah. Okay.
So personally, in your personal life sphere, who do you trust the most?
My mother.
Okay. Business.
No one.
I like that.
Absolutely nobody.
I like that.
I mean, you can't put all your trust into somebody business-wise. At the end of the day, your business decision is your business decision, and you have to take ownership for your decision. You can't trust somebody to, you can trust that somebody will do their work,
right?
professionally, but
Not to put you into absolute. Right. Does Lissa cook? Does Lissa cook? Yeah.
No. Lissa knows how to make macaroni pie and kale chips.
Okay, kale chips. Okay, macaroni pie. I'll stick to the. You can make macaroni pie.
I don't have time to cook. After grade 8, my mom stopped cooking for us.
Really?
Yeah, she said you're on your own now. Figure it out.
And so you make kale chips.
No, I just learned how to make kale chips 2 weeks ago. Shout out my home cook, Trina. But yeah, my mom just left us to, you know.
So you can't call it mama. I'm a fun mommy. I
No,
really
because my mom doesn't cook anymore.
What was your favorite dish?
Oh, it was macaroni pie with stewed chicken, rice and peas, and my dad would make this awesome peanut punch.
She said peanut butter. Yay! Yes, peanut butter. I didn't have any holidays. Sorry, that's not what we're here for.
I'm hungry now.
What other countries have you played in that really stood out for you?
Bahamas.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a really good time there. They are. And they like to party. They like to party outside a lot. Yeah, Bahamas was a really good time.
What is your never fail go-to song?
My never fail go-to song. Jay-Z, PSA. Never fails. Never fails. Yeah.
Good. I definitely wanted to capture the essence of your brand. You made a conscious effort to evolve or make a stamp on your brand.
Kind of. That's evolved. My mind state has evolved in the sense that at first it was like, I don't ever want to go back to a 9 to 5. If I go back to a 9 to 5, I'll feel so ashamed. And then it kind of went into like, okay, well, I'm in this, and it's like, you know, I gotta uphold a standard. So if there's any other female DJ that comes after me, it's like a blueprint for what can work for them going forward. And now, I can't lie, I'm a little comfortable. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next and, you know, where I want to go. And, you know, and it's very easy to, you know, just do your gigs and, just cruise along and be that female DJ and blah, blah, blah. But no, like, I'm starting to feel the pressure now in the sense that it's time to make a different transition into something else. I just don't know what it is yet. Maybe my mom might call me.